This sounds like either a con job.
There is no such Department of Government Efficiency. It's made up.
Let's come after Elon Musk, who's made his fortune off of taxpayers.
If they are going to have this little Doge commission or whatever it is that they are calling.
You've put a billionaire who basically has made his fortune off of government subsidies.
So good luck to him.
Hey everybody, Tim Burchett, just leaving the Doge meeting with Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy. And I think the key to the whole thing is going to be, the key to the whole thing is in that room. If Congress doesn't have the guts to do those things that they're talking real big about, it's just a waste of time. They'll do away with executive orders and unelected bureaucrats who put rules and regulations on us. If Congress doesn't have the guts, and that's what scares me. You know, I vote against a lot of stuff. There'll be 15 or so red dots on the board, which means we voted against horrible spending. And there'll be about 400 green lights on the board. And that's going to be the problem. My friend Chip Roy is right here.
Chip, how are you?
East Tennessee.
Great Americans?
I was just telling them that the problem's in that room.
That's what I just said.
100%. And that we've got to have the guts to pull the trigger.
Yeah, our friends Elon and Vivek can do a good job exposing it, but then we got to actually do our job. So I hope they do it, and then we'll have to hold our colleagues accountable.
Right on.
Brother.
Amen. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for sitting here.
Okay, so what Tim said is spot on. All right, it's on Congress to actually make some things happen here because they have the legal authority. Now, before we get to the actual meltdown that took place because of Elon Musk going to Capitol Hill and discussing these priorities, let's hear from a Democratic Senator, John Fetterman, on what he thought about Doge and Elon Musk. Check this out.
Do you see yourself ultimately working with folks like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, who will be heading?
Yeah, I admire Mr. Musk. He's been involved in very important parts of American society, AI, SpaceX, and other kinds of things. Yes, he's on a different team, but that doesn't make me an enemy. I don't automatically going to become a critic. It's like, hey, he has made, he's made our economy and our nation better, and our politics are different, and I don't agree with some of the things that he might say, but that doesn't make him, like I said.
Democratic Senator Chris Murphy, who represents Connecticut. Really good to have you. I got a question about this Doge department, and first off, Jared Moskowitz of Florida has joined in. And Rahm Emanuel was on with Ezra Klein talking about what Democrats need to do going forward. And he said, if the Republicans are proposing something to shake up the status quo, the Democrats should get on board and offer their own opinions, offer their own ideas, their own ways to do it, get them in the soft underbelly, as Rahm Emanuel says. Is this something that you would be interested in getting involved with? You're a guy who thinks the Democrats should be running against the status quo as well.
Yeah, I'm just not sure that this has anything to do with breaking up the status quo. You've put a billionaire who basically has made his fortune off of government subsidies in charge of deciding how the government should spend its money. This sounds like either a con job in which Elon Musk comes out of this with his programs protected and perhaps his competitors' programs targeted, or just I've been part of these things in the past with Donald Trump. After the Parkland shooting, I got dragged over to the White House for a television program in which Donald Trump pretended he cared about guns. He didn't do anything. This may be the same thing, that he's trying to put on a show that he cares about cutting government, but actually we're going to end up with the same thing that happened in his first term. Deficits exploding, more and more debt saddled upon the American public. So yes, I think Democrats should put on the table how we think we can cut government. Let's come after the drug companies, let's come after the insurance companies, the big defense companies that are all reaping huge amounts of money off of the government. Let's come after Elon Musk, who's made his fortune off of taxpayers. Democrats should be involved in the conversation about government efficiency. I just don't know that this group has anything to do with actual meaningful common sense cuts. It may be about protecting bills.
Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy have left the Capitol, and their parting words were that they, quote, want to meet with Democrats next time. Would you meet with them?
Oh, I would meet. Now, I don't know that they want to meet with me, but I would absolutely. Listen, if they are going to have this little Doge commission or whatever it is that they are calling, I absolutely want to understand as much about it as I can so that I can report back. It's kind of like that time that we had to go and see the January 6ers at the jail. I had to show up to make sure that the truth was going to be reported. So absolutely, come and see me, guys, and let's have a talk so I can make sure.
That is coming into your wheelhouse. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy apparently will be up on Capitol Hill talking about their ideas for this thing that they're calling Doge. The Department of Government Efficiency, which is a bit of a misnomer because it won't be a part of the federal government, apparently. But Congress controls the purse strings. What are your thoughts on Elon Musk and Ramaswamy deciding or trying to decide what stays and what goes in the federal government?
Well, it's illegal. They haven't asked to meet with me, but the impoundment of funds that have been appropriated by the Congress is unconstitutional and illegal. There is no such Department of Government Efficiency. It's made up. So good luck to them. I mean, if there's a plan that the President Trump wants to propose to the Congress, he should send it to us. But the Constitution does not permit the president to simply avoid what the Congress has done. That power of the purse is with the legislative branch, not the president.
Or people who served on this select committee investigating January 6th, that Donald Trump clearly hates them and would love to see bad things happen to them. What do you think?
I think it's a horrendous idea. I think it is a terrible moral hazard question to preempt it for a president. If this is the path we're going down, I think we should talk about repealing the pardon power entirely. Or creating some new body that handles pardons, because this is not what the founders intended. I think it's the Anti-Federalists had basically got it right. All in favor of creating a massive legal defense fund, right? So that these people don't get bankrupted by abuse of power. But I don't think the courts have been corrupted. I think these cases would get thrown out of the courts. You just don't want to create a situation where the process is the punishment.
Actually, on the opposite of that, I think that it is actually smart. When you have somebody not only in Trump, but in a lot of his acolytes who also hold elected office, who are dead set on carrying out his retribution tour, be it whether it's with Liz Cheney, Dr. Fauci, any and everybody, I think that it's smart. It offers a certain level of protection, but it also helps as a stalwart, because I hear what you're saying about, what the founders intended. The founders also didn't intend a twice impeached, 34 felony convicted guy to pop up and run for president and win multiple times. I think that at this point, when you have someone who is operating with immunity, because quite frankly, the Supreme Court gave him that in all aspects, and does not match up to any of the presidents that we formerly had, or any, I think, of the principles of American democracy, you have to have safeguards. And one of the safeguards against a lot of the attacks that the incoming administration and a lot of those who align with it against those that they see as enemies is actually
trying to run a government on behalf of all the people of this country. And if we spend all of our time going forward pursuing Trump, or Trump pursuing Liz Cheney, Jack Smith, Dr. Fauci, that is what we need to get off the table. And so I've asked the president's people to consider preemptive pardons for all those people. Wow. Get it off the table. Because I know Donald Trump, and I think the country knows Donald Trump. And as soon as he gets to the point where he can get the credit for it, he'll do it. And so I asked the president to move forward doing this.
And Congressman Clyburn, that's a startling revelation, at least to my ears. And what was his reaction?
Well, I don't know what his reaction was. I told you I was doing it with my staff, with his staff.
With the staff. Okay, what was their reaction?
I'm sorry. Directly about this.
Yeah. What was their reaction?
They listen, and they says, we'll convey what you said to the president. And so I'm waiting to get what the president's response might be.
I've talked to 5 to 10 Republicans who have said to me, they're just waiting for the right moment to say no to Pete Hegseth, and for very good reasons.
Why do you think so few Republicans, none by my count, have been willing to come out and say they will definitively not support this nominee?
Nobody wants to defy Donald Trump if you're a Republican. the power of the presidency, not to mention this president-elect, and what the retribution might be, I think is pretty daunting. And so I think Republicans are reluctant to step forward and be the first one. But I think privately they're much readier to advise the president that the better part of wisdom would be to urge withdrawal of this nomination. I'd be surprised if we're still talking about Hegseth at the end of the week or by